Hello and welcome back to Business Spotlight, where today we have the pleasure of hearing from Manos Polioudis from Talos Technology. Welcome, Manos. How are you?
I'm very good, Hannah. I'm very good. How are you? How about you?
I'm really good, thank you. I'm really good. I'm really excited that you've joined us today. So with that, I'm going to dive straight in and I'm going to ask, Manos, what is it that you do and how long you've been doing it for?
Yes. In Talos Technology, what we do is we are an engineering service provider. So what we do is we solve engineering problems for our customers. We are mainly specialized on the new electric vehicle space. So the majority of the customers we have, they come from the automotive and aerospace industries, and it's usually related to developing their systems for traction or propulsion, just to get things moving. So the background that we have in the company comes from this industry. So we've worked in big companies in the area. So both myself and my co-founder, we met while working in Jaguar Land Rover many years ago. And then we worked here in the area in various companies before we started the journey with Talos.
Okay, tell me a little bit more about starting the journey with Talos. So what motivated you, put my teeth back in, what motivated you to start the business?
It was actually that while we were doing this job, we saw a lot of potential in the electric vehicle space. We were doing something very specialized, which at the time was like designing electric motors, which was something that we were struggling to find, companies to support us in this job. So we thought, okay, there is a gap in the market, the industry is going to grow, and there are a lot of opportunities. So we took the decision to start this company and start working with customers as independent engineers in the first years.
And I can imagine the electrical vehicle space is moving incredibly fast. How are you keeping up with and how are you finding the industry at the moment?
So the industry, it was like really good times for the industry the last 10 years. So there has been quite a lot of influx of capital and investment in the sector. At the moment, at this current state, we see things slowing down a bit, but I think that's more related to the general state of the UK economy rather than to the industry sector per se. So it's been an exciting journey, and the good thing and the let's say the advantage that we have is that right now, since we are a consulting company, so we work with various customers, we can see technology being developed in different industries and with different verticals. So we have some companies that we work with from the aerospace world that they are designing electric airplanes. Wow. We have other customers that they design electric supercars, and we have other customers that they design electric delivery trucks. So what this gives to us is the unique opportunity to see effectively the same system in many different environments, so we can understand how to adapt the technology to fit each one of the needs, which is not usually the case if you just design, for example, electric cars. You don't know what's the situation with electric airplanes, but we have this cross-breeding of engineering knowledge that really help us maintain the edge and keep on top of the industry development.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Electric aeroplanes is something that
yeah, it's amazing.
We've heard whispers for some time. Tell me, has working in the business and creating the business and just how fast it's been evolving over the last few years, has it been everything that you hoped it would be?
Actually, it was more than I asked for.
Yeah.
But in a sense, it's like what is really exciting when you start a business from scratch is the excitement and let's say there is no day is the same in a startup world. Some days are really exciting and you have like talking with customers and securing some big contracts. Other days you don't get the contract, so it's a very big disappointment. So I would say it's like it's a roller coaster ride per se, and it's been a fun ride. As long as you continue playing the game, you become better, you get more exposure, you learn more about your customers, and effectively you manage to crack, let's say, the code of the market, and you start to grow. And actually, to be honest, we haven't cracked completely the market. We are making progress, and we have increased our size the last 2 years, but we are still learning every day.
Yeah. I love the way that you said crack the code. There is something about finding that code sort of along the business journey. Tammy, you've told us a little bit about sort of electric vehicles and then moving into the aerospace industry, but what is it that you do that makes you stand out in the industry?
So the main thing that we offer is that what we have tried to do in the company is we are hiring the top engineering talent from the people we've worked with in the past. So we have this high level of standards for the engineers that we have in the business, because the business model we try to develop is a business model that is based on value, not based on time. So what happens is that there are a lot of companies in our sector that they are charging, for example, the engineers with the hours. So they don't, let's say, they don't have a vested interest of these engineers being like super efficient or super stellar, because the more hours they work, the more hours they get paid, the more money they make. So in a way, in our view, this kinds of reward inefficiency. What we are trying to do, we are working with deliverable based contracts. So we get the job, and then it is up to us to do the job the best way we can find. So what we do is we have developed automations, we have developed tools, we are writing our own software in-house to make our job more efficient. And in this way, you know, a job that typically takes 4 months for our customers, we can do it in 3 weeks. But we still are you know, requesting the value for not 4 months, but let's say 2 months or 3 months. So in the end of the day, the customer gets something that it's cheaper, and it's like half of the time than what they used to be to pay for the same activity or weight.
Yeah, you mentioned there about working with attracting the highest quality talent. How do you go about doing that? What's your key to success there?
At this point of time, and because our size is relatively small, it's mainly through you know, network that we have worked in the past. So myself, I come from a background from really big organizations like Volvo, like Jaguar Land Rover, like Arrival. In these organizations, I had like management and director roles. So I was directly interfacing with a lot of brilliant people. And the moment that, you know, we get some new business, then I'm just approaching the most brilliant of the people I've met in my career, and I'm asking them to join me. I'm really glad, because a lot of these people, they take the leap and they trust me, and they come to our company. And yeah, so far we've been very, very successful with this strategy. And you know, we work with people that let's say we have tested their metal. We know what they can deliver and what they can do. It's a matter of trust in the end of the day.
Yeah, trust is really important. Tested their metal. I love that. I absolutely love that. What would you say?
Yeah, we are mechanical engineers, and we're working with metal and gearboxes all the time, so it's second nature.
I thought I had the pun. I had the pun. What would you say you would attribute your growth to?
Really, whatever every company that grows figures out, it's value for the customer. So our biggest let's say point that we pride ourselves is that every single one of the customers we had since we started the business gave us a new contract when the business finished, and that's like for every single of them. So that tells you that you're giving them something that they feel it's very good value for money. They understand that, and they give you some more. And it's the only way to scale a business, really. If you ask me, you know, we started with not having like huge capital reserves, with not having like a big investment from, you know, Saudi Arabia fund behind us or something. We started with just our engineering knowledge, and this is what started to bring the first customers. And now as we grow, the same customers return, and we get more and more continuous work from them. So I would say that's the bit that we believe we should continue to push on.
Absolutely. The lifetime value of a customer sometimes gets oversighted. So no, that's really good that you've got your finger on the pulse there. Now you've mentioned that we could potentially get disturbed by dogs or children, which leads brilliantly into my next question. How do you balance your personal life with the demands of running a business?
I would say it's not easy. You have to make a lot of sacrifices. It helps a lot when you have support from the family. So it's kind of when you do your own company and you start your own company, basically your family has a company with you. They might not be day in, day out in the meetings with the customers, but you know, when your mood is not okay one day because something didn't work out, they are there to pick you up. Or when you're stressed and you know, when you cannot stop thinking of the job, they are there. I can tell you, my wife is very patient with me, which is a very good thing. And for regarding the little ones and the kids, I'm training them to come in the company. So I start to give them like training and management skills. So, you know, they're going to be ready.
Absolutely.
The moment they start to read and send emails, that's it. I have like new engineers in the business.
Absolutely brilliant. There's a brilliant saying, if you can't beat them, join them, but you flipped that round.
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. What would you say your biggest learning has been, Manos?
Running the company, you mean? I would say patience. I'm very impatient as a person. I want to do a lot of things. I want to do a lot of things fast and, you know, scale and grow and everything. And, you know, in most of the cases, when running a new business, in order to do things, you need resources. In order to get resources, you need to do things. And it's like a circle that is very hard to break. You know, you cannot go from a business that has, you know, £100,000 revenue to a business that has £20 million revenue in 2 years. You need to be patient and you know, do the same, let's say, the same good work every day for a long period of time until you reach the stage that, you know, this thing starts to scale up and get big. So I'm still, you know, trying to master the art of patience. I'm very, you know, I want to push a lot for things, but I understand that the most difficult thing is to build a reputation. A business is all about trust. So it really doesn't matter if you have the best engineers if your customers do not know you or do not know that you have the best engineers. So in order to build a reputation, that takes years, which is, you know, it's good and bad, because after you build a reputation, that also gets you into an inertia state. You know, then you can get contracts and you can get customers because they know your reputation and your brand.
Yeah.
So I would say the biggest learning is patience by far.
Yeah. How do you sort of reel yourself in at the times where you want to, your patience is wearing a bit sort of thin and you want to go for something, because you sound disciplined and there sounds like there's persistence for doing the good things every single day, but are there moments where you're itching to go and you have to just hold yourself in? What's your secret there?
I don't have a secret. I have my partners that they always try to pull me back, because I'm you know, we have a balance on the board. I have the drive to move things forwards, and I jump to new things, and I want to develop and pull everyone with me. But I have like my business partners that they are more like, you know, they're trying to keep things on the ground and be more strategic and more patient than me. So I think like the combined force of these interactions is what drives us forward. Because, you know, when you push too hard, you will probably crash. So that's the case with, you know, when you're driving a motorbike or you're driving a fast car, or when you're running a business, it's always the same.
Yeah, it's the same. Surround yourself by with good people. It sounds good. But we were just chatting then about sort of surging ahead, which leads fantastically into my last question, which is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And do you have any words of advice for other business owners that are looking to grow?
Yes, so in 5 years, what we want to do is we want to establish ourselves as one of the leading engineering offices for our niche in the UK. So while we do have a small team right now, and we are very good and very specialized in what we do, we need to grow that and get into a state that we establish ourselves in the industry more. At the moment, we do know our immediate customer base, but we can always expand and get more attention. We also want to start developing a bit further our product portfolio. So beyond the services and the engineering that we have, we want to start designing and marketing our own electric motors and electric drivetrains for the automotive and motorbike industry. So we want to build that as well. Now, in terms of advice for business founders that they need to grow is, for me, sales is the blood of every company. So as long as you can get the sales into the company and keep the customer happy, everything else kind of irons out. So you will find someone to do the books, you will find someone to develop the product, you will find someone to deliver the product. But if you don't bring the customer in, then you don't have the resources. Then you will never find someone to make the books, you will never find someone to build the product. So if you ask me, except with the case of very well-funded startups, like startups that they start with 20 million in the bank from external investment or from previous endeavors. If you start organically with zero capital and you want to grow, the only way to do it is through customer and sales. So good sales acquisition, good customer retention, and then this will feed your business. Otherwise, you can go and find an investment, you get 20 million in the bank, and then your main thing is to build a product that will be then sold to the customer.
Yeah.
But my experience in business is every time I tried to build the product before the customer, I failed.
Right.
In this business, we try to put the customer first and the product and services after, and it seems to work at least better than my previous businesses.
Well, lesson learned. And
Yeah.
taking that learning, exactly, bringing that learning forward. Sales is the lifeblood. I love that. I think that's a fantastic way to end today's business spotlight. Manos, thank you so much for joining me. It was really great to get to know more about you and the business. There's lots of learning, so I can't wait to share them with our business community. Thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Thank you very much, Hannah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.